men to waste, and there are consequences for that. And he's dealing with his demons. I think it's very different. For me, it's very different than the first two films. I think it's really much more personal. I still damage the odd fellow here and there, you know, use some various utensils and devices to administer proper damage when necessary. She and my daughter went to school together. You know, they were both at NYU, so I stayed in touch vicariously, if that's the right way of saying it. But it was weird, you know, because I'm like, oh, she's a grown woman. She's looking at me. I'm going, she was like a grown woman then, but now she's a grown woman, and you know, obviously a great talent. But some days I just it wasn't really strange, because she was bringing it. You know, she's like, yeah, you know, she knows how to hit the ball back over the net. So she's again, sky's the limit for her. There was never a question about his talent, his experience. You know, we're brothers. He's my younger brother. But I trust him completely. He trusts me in some small escapist way. We try to give a glimpse of the possibility of redemption and salvation. And not here to preach, but I'm going to continue to practice. More violent, period. Just more violent, more bloody. He enjoys it. And that's why he has to pay. Because it's not justice, it's pain. And it's blood, lust. Italy's a character in our film. And the language and the food and the love that people have. I love the Italian people, and I love how they love each other. And I learned a lot being here. I mean, I've come here for 31 years on vacation, but we've been, and I came here in Tuscany in the 90s with Much Ado About Nothing. But I've been here now since August, and I really began to understand, you know, a little bit, you know, the culture, the history. So it's a great, I think it is, and it was a great place to shoot our film. Alla fine si chiama Dove dovremmo essere. Yeah, yeah. That's what he's where he's supposed to be. You know, so I just threw that Italian in there. I probably said it wrong, but you know.
I had seen the previous films. I had seen both Equalizer and Equalizer 2, and was a big fan. I've obviously, you know, known Denzel for a big part of my life, and one of his daughters is one of my closest friends, so I'm always in the loop on what he's up to. So I was a big fan of the first two films for sure. It has been almost 20 years, and I was quite young, but that's not an experience that one forgets. And it was very interesting working with him again the second time. I felt the same, like my body felt the same feeling that I remember feeling all of those years ago, which is, you know, excitement and a little bit of nerves and wanting to be as prepared as possible. And he definitely is an actor that keeps you on your toes constantly. We talked a lot about the relationship and the kind of cat and mouse game between Emma and McCall, and how they sort of challenge one another. And, you know, the character of McCall is a character that moves through the world with a lot of mystery, and I think Emma is really trying to get down to the bottom of who he is and why he's there and how he has her number and how they're connected. And I think the character of Emma is someone who has a great gut and like has, you know, instincts that are able to pick up on little details. And so I think she kind of picks up on this familiarity that Emma and McCall have between one another, but sort of can't put her finger on why it's there. From the start, you can tell that Emma is ambitious and driven and wants to take this opportunity to, not only advance her own professional position, but also to help people. And, I think the mission becomes bigger quite quickly once she realizes there's so much at stake, and this operation is a little bit bigger than anybody realized right at first. And so her mind is constantly going a mile a minute to put all the pieces together with McCall's help also. She's trying to put the pieces together of the case and what's going on and what organization is responsible for these crimes. But I think she's also really trying to put the pieces together of who Robert McCall is and what his connection to her is. I loved getting to have our characters have that sort of challenging relationship with one another. There's definitely no one better to go up against than Denzel. I think it's very interesting to see Robert McCall on the Amalfi Coast, and I think it provides kind of a breath of fresh air into this story and this world, and it's been super fun to be a part of. I've loved working here and love all the people that I've met, and it's been a beautiful experience. I think people connect with McCall because he is really providing justice to the everyday person. He sees something that isn't right, and it might take him on a big journey, but the root cause of why he does what he does is usually something that really only affects one person. I think people connect with that simple message of kind of getting justice for the everyday person. My favorite moment for sure has been the scenes I've had with Denzel and getting to work with him as an adult. And, he has always been so good to me and kind to me. And, I feel such a connection to him because he's known me for so long. And I've just loved the moments of getting to talk in between and catch up and be in Italy and then of course just like being in the scenes with him. And it's most people's dream to get to work with him once, so to get to work with him twice at different stages in my life is a real treat. In one of the scenes that we film in Atrani, it takes place at a church at the top of hundreds and hundreds of stairs. And I, again, having worked in Atrani before, I was prepared for the trek up, but it's a brutal trek up to the top, and I commend the crew and every single person that had to carry heavy equipment and cameras and lights and things up those steps. I only had to carry myself, and it was almost too much. So I can't imagine all of the guys and girls that had to get up there and set everything up to actually make a movie. But it's another example of a really unique location that we got to film in for this movie, and it was very that day and that scene was very authentic to Atrani.